Oh, uh-oh. I just dropped some roaches. Hello, I'm Leathur Rokk, and I just made a little error here. Uh, I just dropped a bag that had some roaches, but as you can tell, this is going to be a very happy live stream. I'm live broadcasting from my Atlantic City studio, picking up a bag that had a few roaches in it. I had a really great day today, and I want to tell you all about it. But I'm not going to do this stream very long because, as I said in the show notes, I have a party waiting for me on the boardwalk. Okay, I'm going to show you. And this is a roach, and they don't have 6 legs, and it ain't no joke. So, this morning, I went to meet a certain person that has a breakfast cart, and he goes on the boardwalk, and I get to commiserate with the people about how we can't make money in the boardwalk because the cops have been putting out tickets for sleeping and for panhandling, and somebody apparently fell asleep for like 5 minutes on the beach and got a ticket, even though somebody I know successfully had a tent out there and slept last night and got away with it. I'm glad he did, because another person got rudely wakened up, was sleeping outside my front door this afternoon, and there's no reason. He was tired. I let him sleep. I figured if you're tired and you're sleeping, let you sleep, because maybe you were deprived of sleep, because maybe people kept on kicking you awake. I know people have been chased by security guards here, there, whatever, and they cannot get more than 2 or 3 hours sleep at one time. So if you get a person who's finally sleeping, you leave them alone, right? I poured him a glass of water. Anyway, some rude city worker, it wasn't any of the church volunteers around here, kicked him to wake him up, and that is absolutely unnecessary, right? So anyway, but he did go to a certain place that a bunch of us went to at 4 o'clock today, had a really nice dinner, and I was able to bring some things home to my mother. And meanwhile, after I came back here because I wanted to grab Garfield, but I couldn't at first when I tried to go find a cat, because there's a whole bunch of people that were going in and out of the houses where he typically, I find him on the stairs going up to their houses and stuff. And I'm not going to go onto your porch when you have your aunt and your uncles and your mom and your wife and your son there. I'm going to just keep on going, and I'm going to hope that you don't notice me, even though, as you can tell, I'm hard to ignore, apparently. And especially with my Trump stuff. And I want to show this to you. And by the way, in case YouTube algorithm wants to fuck with me, I got this shirt in Washington, D.C. in 2016 when he had in fact won. So I'm not trying to break any rules. Just want to clarify this. And since this is Memorial Day weekend, I thought it was very fitting to, represent. And I have not gotten any hate physically wearing this shit. But that said, since I have been posting these videos from Wildwood, I have not been filming at all. I kind of didn't worry about, since I'm not filming, I don't care about my hair. I didn't care about my makeup. I went days without makeup. I just put skincare on. Sometimes it was too hot for me to even do that. I took 2 showers and hair washes in a row just because it felt really comfortable to do so. There's nothing quite like a shower when it's hot, and I love the feeling of clean and washing my scalp, washing the back of my hair, which, by the way, if you ever caught washing your hair and you don't have conditioner, we take things like hair conditioner for granted. But when I was in Wildwood, there wasn't any conditioner, okay? And so I just washed my hair with the shampoo, or it might have even been body wash. I honestly don't know. But anyway, my hair was really kind of matted and dry and tangled. But the next time I washed my hair, I used a lot of conditioner, and I'm fine. And I've been putting beads back in my hair. I think I'm going to do the rest of the beading while I'm on the boardwalk tonight. I got, anyway, I couldn't see Garfield, right? I waited about an hour. Then I went back around, and I finally found him because there's nobody around. He was sitting on one of he wasn't even on the porch. He was right on the step. And I didn't need to drop any food off or anything. I just came up to him. I grabbed him. I carried him fairly slowly because, I don't want a cat to jump out in traffic. But he knows by now that I'm going to hold him. I'm going to cuddle him, and I give kisses so that nobody thinks that I'm some pervy catnapper about to do something terrible. You always got to think about what things look like from the people that are driving around, or the people who don't know you as a neighbor, or you got a lot of people who have Airbnbs, all these people who aren't neighborhood people that are coming in and out of cars, like families, groups of 5, 6 friends around here that maybe this is their first time in this town, and they don't know that they're actually on the corner of crack and heroin. All right. But and they're going to the boardwalk and they're spending money in the casinos and they're eating all the restaurants and all the world class food that this town does have to offer. Amir, hello. Oh man, I'm so sweating, so hot. But anyway, the this person who was kicked awake, he made it to the dinner thing, and then when I came back and I got him right, and then I put him here, and then I decided I should go out and look around and look if I could find roaches, because the people have not been dropping any roaches around here ever since the dealers. I heard they got pissed off at people like me that are looking for freebies, and they figure that why should somebody get something for free when they have to pay to get it, and people, their customers, are paying to get it. They resent people getting things for free, even though there is a concept of, hello, if you don't have any income, what are you going to do? Spend money you can't afford to spend on high? To me, that is an irresponsible use of money. I mean, think of how fast an eighth goes if you're a pothead. Last time I spent money on weed was I got an eighth of weed for myself around my birthday. That eighth lasted me 22 hours. Okay, granted, it was my birthday time, and you really, you you're the party, right? Even if you're not sharing it with anybody, you smoke it real fast. Can I put on Bright Dazzle? Hello, hon. I need to go check up on so many of your videos. I'm down to only one device. I have a broken tablet. I took the memory card out of here. I put it in a expandable this and stuck it in this computer. You would think it would recognize the pictures. I had taken a few pictures and tried to shoot video at the Trump rally with this little tablet. This tablet never was charged. I charged this thing for over a week today. And I think I broke the thing. I don't know how I broke the thing, except a couple of times during when Trump was talking, I was really upset because I couldn't film with it, and I threw the thing on the sand. But how can you damage a device when you throw it on the sand? People put your phones on beaches all the time, don't you? Anyway, bottom line, I got some footage in this thing. What this has actually, here, let me show you. You've seen these things, they actually expand. This has a little tiny, what do you call it, mini SD thing. This has some more footage that I want to be able to share with you. And I'm not the highest tech person in the world, and I know computers a lot more than these little devices. Um, yeah, as far as the masks go, I'm getting ready to go outside, and I'm not going to put a mask on and screw up my makeup because I have to go outside. And I'm going to do another live stream. I mean, I could maybe try to get a signal on the boardwalk, but the thing is, where the party is right directly in front of the Tropicana, where the lights and the sound show is. Plus, I don't know that, not everybody wants to be on camera. Some people are real nervous around camera. Some people, they have reasons why they don't want to be online. And I don't want to disrespect my friends by just having, I know some people that they see me talking in the live stream, they run the other way. Then there's other people that try to get my attention, and yet they don't want the camera on them. And they actually have interrupted me during my filming. But those people I haven't seen in a good year or so. And there's a whole lot of other things that I want to talk about, but I'm deliberately not going to talk about because some things I'm planning on making separate videos just about them. And sometimes you can ruin things by talking about it in a live stream. And then when you get around to making a video, people are going to be bored because they know this shit already. So I don't want to do that to you. But anyway, I want you to know that I have footage here. Oh, yeah. When I tried to view this, I got an error message saying that I had to go into settings and enable data transfer. Well, first of all, when I got this card and I took this little class to learn how to use this thing, that of course I apparently didn't remember anything. And she specifically showed me to press a button to make sure that the card was intended to take out to use as movable data instead of just to use through this. And I'm glad I did, because that should mean that this card should be good to go. And usually my experience is you stick a card in a computer just like you stick a flash drive in, and if it's loaded with anything, then a separate drive will show up where your hard drive and pictures show up, and then you could access all the stuff. And I thought it would be that easy. And unfortunately, I hope I don't need to go back into this, stick this back in here and go into settings here and fix something with this, because what if this is broken? If this is broken, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And since it's been a couple of years now since I had a Best Buy Geek Squad Total Tech Support thing, I could have just taken it into them and they could have told me whatever. But the nearest Best Buy is in Mays Landing, and that is a 4-zone bus ride, which is at least $4 and something each way. So you're talking $8 or $9 just a bus fare to get things dealt with. And that's just not something that would be affordable for me right now. Plus the fact that that membership charged you automatically $22.50 each month. It was directly charged. And when we stopped that for a while there was an additional $2 or $3 that we were still being charged, and we had to specifically call and get that taken care of. So if you're ever contemplating getting a Best Buy Geek Squad Total Tech Support, be aware they may try to pull that on you. Even though, that said, if you can handle the $22.50 each month, it is nice having something where you could bring up to 5 devices. It could be yours, your roommates, or a lot of people have more than one device, and they, with certain exceptions, fix a lot of things. But there's some things that if it's too old, they won't touch. Like if you have a really, really, really old tablet, like if something is running Windows Vista, they're not going to help you there. So, or Windows XP, they're not going to help you there. But anyway, there is a bit more footage. Now there's other things I'm tempted to talk about, but I'm going to do specific videos again about certain aspects of my Trump experience, because there's so much that I am bursting with wanting to talk about, and a lot of things I wrote in my journal. I am proud to say that I'm back to writing again, like I did sometimes from the time I was 8 years old, when one of my aunts gave me my first diary, and that changed my life. Being able to know that I could write my history and my private thoughts, and just be able to document that at this state, at this age, I did this, I was feeling this, and it became something that I could document things that I had to write in code because I didn't want my parents to know about, like when I was having my doubts about my birth religion, and I was interested in this and curious about that, and there's just no need for me to share that with anybody, because I didn't think that I wouldn't have felt safe. And I think most people probably grow up with certain things that they don't think they're going to feel safe sharing yet. And a lot of it is just stupid, insignificant stuff. But when you're a kid, it's big because you think you're the only one, and like having doubts about when you're raised in religion. In my case, I was raised a Catholic because that's what my father was. And my mom insisted he take me to church and stuff. And then, but by the time I was 9 years old, I started having a lot of doubts, and I saw a lot of hypocrisies. When you're taking a CCD class and you're hanging out in between church services, and you see some priests doing things and some brothers doing some things. And after we got to casino gambling here, I noticed that nuns were playing slot machines and stuff. And even though that's not specifically outlawed, I guess, I still thought that seemed kind of unseemly from my little young mind. But anyway, that's probably not what I was going to talk about. I don't want to take too much time, because I'm assuming I'm resembling some sweet things to take back to my friend who's waiting for me on the boardwalk. Apparently, during the course of the day, he ground scored a lot of roaches. He's been stoned most of the day, even though he fell asleep and he got maybe a bit of a sunburn. But he's a person who he's much more dark complected, and he's Spanish, so he can handle the coloring and everything. As long as, the important thing is that people are being safe health wise and safe from cops. That's really the important thing here, that nobody else messed with him. But anyway, he found a bunch of roaches, and he said he had a sweet tooth. And we ate some of those praline peanuts. They got like the candy coating on them, and they're crunchy and they're sweet and they're nuts. And nuts are really good. I noticed on days when I eat a lot of nuts, I don't have low cramps. And it's something I'm going to be talking more about when I talk about. Well, it's something I'm going to talk about more. And oh, by the way, there's a homeopathic remedy by a company called Highlands that you dissolve under the tongue when you're having a leg cramp, and you take up to 3 of them at one time, and they really do help. But that said, you can take the dosage more than once in a night because you can have multiple examples of leg cramps. And imagine having leg cramps 4 different times in one night. It's not fun. Don't recommend it. But anyway, I'm going to set this down here. I'm glad this has a nice big thing. It'll make it harder for me to lose. I want to go back to the boardwalk. And yes, we need Trump now. We really do. I took, as far as masks go, I took a bunch of things. I found a bunch of them on my bed last night. I said, you know what, this is bullshit. I want to be able to stretch my back out. I want to be halfway comfortable, even though it felt hot like a sweat box in here. I had 2 little fans on me. But let me see if I have anything on my floor. I mean, not on my floor. What am I saying? Um, I don't know why I said floor. I meant to say bed. I had several N95 masks and I put them in this big bag. I found this big, clean bag that was like big enough for the 3 of me could be shoved in, right? And I just started putting clothes in that was clean. And I didn't really set aside anything except I set socks aside. And of course, I keep stockings set aside. And I keep my political shirts all in one place. And like my favorite little t-shirts, I have them in separate luggage that I have in the front room because it's like I don't have much in the way of closets and I don't want to give up all my clothes. And you know I like a lot of clothes. And oh, I want to show you what somebody gave me today. You will blow your mind. Hold on. Oh man. All right. Check this out. You guys heard of Keith Haring? Anybody like graffiti art from New York City from like the early 80s? Somebody said, who wears a really size small? And I stood up and I thought it was something boring, and this is a windbreaker. It's lightweight, zips. This is actually a hoodie. I'm not going to put it on now because I'm sweaty and stuff. Look. Keith Haring. Look. Now, I don't love a lot of graffiti art. There's a lot of reasons why I don't necessarily appreciate so much of hip hop culture, and I have lots of personal reasons for that. Because when you live in certain urban areas where things are really, really hectic, and you hear gunshots, and you step over crack pipes and all kinds of stuff, and broken needles, and where you live, you see fentanyl test strips literally on your doorstep. You have and this is the soundtrack of the beats and the bitch better have my money and all kinds of profanities and stuff. It tends to leave a bad taste in your mouth, okay? But there are some genuine artists and there are beautiful people in the scene, especially in New York, where I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time. And Keith Haring, he died of AIDS, and he was one of my good friends in New York City. He drew something on his leather jacket. I'm sure he still has it. Anyway, I've got this Keith Haring thing. Its colors are just amazing. This is actually made by a company called Members Only. And I know that was kind of in at one time. And I've never cared about whether something was in or not. I don't follow trends. I ignore them. Occasionally, I find out that something is in that I happen to like, such as whenever leopard print and zebra stripe is in, I'm thinking, oh, one good thing about when something you like is in, then you can get lots of it. Like for a while there, lime green was in. That was a color. And I was able to get lots of little mini skirts and the fingerless gloves and the axe, all the accessories, lime green and black studded belts and all kinds of things. That's the thing that I like about when fashion cycles happen. You could actually find things. When LeMay was in, and it was easier to find silver and gold, plasticky, vinyl-y stuff. The time every now and then fashion appreciates gothic and punk kind of aesthetics, and then you could stock up on those things. And then when a version of it happens again, like 20 years later, but it's styled a little different, and then they warn you, oh, you can go retro, but you should always update it and add something fresh to it. I say wear whatever you want. You don't need to do what these magazines tell you, and especially when they try to make things political and they try to say that you're dressing for a certain statement or something. It's like sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Sometimes fashion is just, I want to play with a silhouette. I want to play with color. I want to have fun with my life. And fashion is an easy way to do it. And if you oh, I'm glad well, the water is here, the food bowl's here. You know what I hate when I go over to dry food and I step on it and you know, anybody that has cats or I guess dogs, that would happen. Anyway, this is that great. You gotta keep that. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really happy about that. Um, I'm gonna show you something if it's here that kind of ties on with this theme here. Oh, these are real good for protecting the clothes, by the way. I was able to get them at one of the dollar stores here. Oh, okay. Speaking of Keith Haring, this is something I found. It's a wallet. It's a Coach wallet. I'm guessing it must be genuine. Again, I don't care about labels, but if you find something and it happens to be real, you should hold on to it. And this is Keith Haring. The only thing is, I need to get some white paint and I need to fix this part where the 8 is rubbed off. If I can find a way to repair that, maybe even a white magic marker, the white, they're like paint markers and they're fine tipped and stuff. Scott, hi. Hold that tiger. Hold that tiger. Oh, da, da, da. Hold that tiger. Hold that tiger. Wow. Right? What do you think? You know your internet famous? Garfield. Hello. I love you. Won't you meow for me now? I love you. You got me covered in cat hair. Oh, I'm all hairy. I could join the circus since Kathy Hochul calls us clowns. I can go work at the circus as a hairy woman. Mm, yes. I mean, she's got some kind of nerve, you know? And it's just the rhetoric they're trying to do to make people think that there's something wrong with this, that there are none of this. So many times when I go out wearing my red hat, I'll have at least one person will say, you know what? He's the best president we ever had. I went out someplace Wednesday and somebody was telling me that I was wearing my MAGA hat. Oh, and where is that hat? I think I'm going to put that on tonight because I don't usually wear this until the 4th of July because I really love the Revolutionary War. No, 4th of July, I can't tell you how many times I wear this hat and I wear Trump stuff or whatever, and some little kid comes up to me and asks me if I'm a pirate. If I ever get to meet Johnny Depp, I'm going to tell him this. I'm going to say, people, millions and millions and millions of people love him for his Jack Sparrow characters. And I understand that he goes to children's hospitals and he makes appearances nobody even knows about when he makes the kids happy and stuff. And I have a lot of respect for people that are kind and do that. At least be nice to kids. If you got to be an asshole to the grown-ups. Don't be mean to kids, and don't be mean to your phone. I hope I don't end up being one of these people that are mean to my fans and stuff. But, I can be a bitch, trust me. And the thing is, I wish I could take back my past. There are times when I copped a little attitude to strangers because it's easy, especially when you're female, to be on the defensive because you might be suspecting a person's motives, especially if it's a person of the opposite sex. Because us chicks, we sometimes get people behaving very badly, and guys will give sweet talk us, whatever. But there are a lot of good people in the world, and I need to not all of a sudden assume the worst. That's why when people say comments, sometimes I let things slide for a while and I interact them for a while because I try to give people benefit of a doubt. And there have been a number of times when I give a snappy comeback and a person realizes, ooh, I was harsh. I really shouldn't have been like that. And there are probably even times when I have said things that I was read the wrong way. But that said, I can't think of any time when I ever went on somebody's page or on their picture and said, oh, you're fat, you're ugly, you're old, or you look stupid or whatever. I would rather criticize ideas, but I would really rather not be confrontational. I'm not going to go to a Biden supporters video and just put a bunch of MAGA stuff because, first of all, their audience is for the people who believe in what they do. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, unless it's something about the Roe v. Wade thing. In which case, because I'm pro-choice, I will definitely say that yes, I'm sick that that decision was made, and I don't agree with my party's stance on that. But that said, I know that I'm not uh, in the majority of my party, and that's just there's a lot of things I don't understand. But hello, baby. Oh, I don't understand. I have towels on this floor so the cat doesn't have to be on the dirty carpet, and he's on the dirty carpet. Why am I mad at that? Oh, it's so hot, so hot. I thought I hung that hat up. Uh, oh, there it is. Here's my hat. Don't I look normal now? All right. I need to find the food that I have for my friend. I suggested in the liner notes, if you read the stuff before I actually go live, I said this is a part one. There's going to be a part two when I come back. I'm going to keep the computer here. I'm going to keep him here. He's been a real good boy. With he's not made any accidents or anything. Sixamoto. Oh, Lucas Minton. Hey. Um, yeah, my one of my friends from high school, Paul, he uh he wanted to go to school to learn how to be an archaeologist or to get the art from archaeology sites and restore art and do all that stuff. And he could not find work in his chosen interests like so many college educated people. So he, in the height of the AIDS crisis, he decided to go to school to learn to be a phlebotomist, working around blood and stuff. And he was really good with that. And he got more medical school training. He's not a doctor or anything, but I don't know the extent of his all the college degrees he went to. He went to Columbia. He went to some other New York, NYU, I guess. So like 3 or 4 colleges there. He now is an administrator of, I don't know what his job title is, for Sloan Kettering Cancer Hospital. He is a contemporary of mine. Well, he's like a year older than me, even though we graduated school together, because he has 2 brothers who happen to be twins, and the parents had them all graduate in the same grade, I guess, to make it more convenient for them. So anyway, long story short, he has this really, really, really good job in Manhattan, and he lives in New York City, and he actually owns property, has a mortgage, all that stuff. And he's a real grown up, in other words, compared to people like myself that, I've always been on the fringe of society, which I'm fine with that. But anyway, he's really established. And it all started because he took a chance on working around blood when so many of his fellows were afraid to. And he really cares about people. And that's the kind of person I think you want in healthcare, to love people and care about people. I know that I appreciate the people the most that are in their work because of the love. It's not just about the money. If you don't love people, why do you want to be dealing with people? If you don't like people, why are you in customer service? My mother, people loved her whenever she was a cashier. For a while there, when they were getting ready to close Trump Taj Mahal, they had my mother because she was such a good person with people. They had her answering the phones at the front desk. So when I tell certain people that argue with me in the comments and try to say what an asshole Trump is and how he doesn't care about people and doesn't treat his employees right, I said, whoa, 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 wait a minute. How many of his employees and people who work with him, my mother worked for him and with him for over 16 years, had nothing bad to say about him and how he treated people, and nobody working there did. And he, Trump had a brother, I think he's since passed away, who knew who my father was. When my father used to sell Buddy Poppies for the VFW in front of the Trump Plaza, if you've been watching my channel enough, you got to see me broadcast it live when they imploded it. My father used to be in front of there. And one of Trump's brothers used to always talk to my father. My father had nothing good things to say about him. And I think my father would have been tickled pink if he knew that Donald Trump actually ran for and was president of the United States. I can't prove it because he's dead, but I really think he would have dug it. So, yeah, when I say things about Trump, he and I might not be buddies. I don't know him. I've never met him. Okay. However, I know enough people who have. So, and none of them come up to me. And people like to gossip. People like to, even though you sign these non-disclosure agreements and stuff, everybody knows somebody that likes to gossip. Nobody has ever told me anything uh, bad about the man. Okay. And as far as if anybody wants to say anything about certain business dealings he did with Atlantic City people here, guess what? When you're doing business, there are winners and losers sometimes. And also, Trump, like anybody, has a right to, when you hire somebody to do something, he has a right to have people do things right. If you had your roof leaking, wouldn't you want it fixed right? You wouldn't want it the next storm, it to be raining on you on your kid's bed at night, right? Why should he be any different? So I'm sorry. I'm not going to be dissuaded by my respect and my love for the man. Yes, we need him. And YouTube wants to kick me off because I like him. Well, you know what? Kiss my white American ass. Hello, thank you. I'm going to put this someplace else. I'm going to find, I have a bunch of sweet stuff that I found for my buddy who has, oh yeah, and I want to make sure that I remember my, remember this Hello Kitty bag? I love this so much. And this has a very special thing attached to it. See this quartz crystal? I had this on since before I went to Wildwood. This is what I had on me when I was seventh row at the Trump rally. I saw President Trump with my own eyes. I heard him with my own ears. I felt the power and the energy. Wow. He is real. And I say this because you know how you watch things on TV, you see the news, and most people, a lot of people have not been in Washington, D.C. You're familiar with the Washington Monument, you're familiar with the Capitol, and everybody's familiar with the White House, right? But when you see these monuments in person, it's like, oh, it's real. I've seen it. I've been there. I've been to the Lincoln Memorial. I've seen that big giant chair with that big bearded man on there. I mean, I've been to the World War II Memorial. I've been to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Uh, it's there. It's real. I've been whenever you even get off the bus, the Greyhound bus, your steps from the Capitol. So I know we got to be careful talking about the Capitol as Trumpers, because we're all bad. Orange man bad, yeah. But anyway, Washington, D.C. is a very special place in the heart of any of us, right? And it's a place where you should feel comfortable and safe. Just don't try to go to an AA meeting when you're a Trumper because they don't want them red hats. I'm just saying, especially DuPont Circle. And, yes, I know what I'm talking about here. Okay, I don't want to get into. I'm not negative, but I'm just saying I'm talking my truth. I'm talking my experience. When you're going to let me go to a meeting and all of a sudden shame me because I got the hat and because I got a button on my chest because I'm covering up a pot leaf, okay? Because I know you don't wear fucking pot leaves at a 12-step meeting. But if all of a sudden somebody invites me to a meeting and I got to cover up the leaf and all I have to cover it up is a big Trump thing because I'm in Washington, D.C., where the only reason to pack for Washington, D.C. is because you're either celebrating weed or a political film, right? I mean, really, what is Washington, D.C. known for? Political expression and the fact that, at least on a, well, nothing's on a federal level is legal, and it's not a state. But other than that, they did legalize weed and magic mushroom, psilocybin. Uh, that's something else I wouldn't be averse to dabbling with again. All right. I want to go and find the sweet stuff that my buddy says he has a craving for, and I'm going to trust that Garfield's going to be okay. But anyway, I have the sweet stuff in my mother's room. I found a temporary. I know this is stupid for candle holders. Go. You know what? I need to get a menorah that holds tiny, tiny little candles like birthday candles. That's something I really do want. But I keep on using stupid things for candle holders, and that's really not a smart thing. But my friend gave me 2 packs of matches because I had a lighter here and I lent it to 2 crackheads. They said he'd be right back. I thought he was just going to light something and give it back to me. And it's like, how far away do you have to go? Hours turned into days. 2 weeks ago, or wherever day it was after I came back from Wildwood. He said to me, "Oh yeah, you had your lighter." I said, "Yeah, I told you that my lighter was my gas stove. That was not cool, man." But they say never trust a crackhead. Anyway, I got 2 packs of matches now. But I want to get the sweet stuff that I promised my friend. I'm gonna step very carefully over Garfield. Right now, I'm gonna plug this thing back in because I don't want the thing to run out of power. I am so sweaty hot. And then what I'm gonna do after I'm gonna go live when I come back. You're almost a year sober. 30 more days. You know what? It'll be I don't know anything about your life and I have no right to tell you about your life, but I will say this. I think it may be the best decision that you ever made. The morning that I woke up from a blackout, from having almost drowned because I decided to drink Chivas Regal shots with some fishermen on one of these jetties, these fishing jetties we have up in the inlet of Atlantic City. And you drink in your shots, you're slamming them down, and I'm not very big, and I'm not very tall. And I'm drinking these shots, and I was wearing pants, even though it was the summertime, and I don't wear pants unless I absolutely have to. But for whatever reason, I was wearing tight pants that day, and I'm kind of glad because considering that I don't remember how I got home. I had a key, and I don't know that we even had a doorbell, but I was able to stick the key in. My mother would have told me if she had to let me in or if there was a disturbance or anything. I don't remember coming home, but I got home and I was wearing tight pants. And as a girl, you could generally tell if somebody did something to you, and there was no evidence that anything untoward had happened. But still, what if I'd slipped on those wet rocks and fallen into the ocean? I could have been dead. I would have then you'd never know who I was because I was before I started YouTube. But anyway, this is my second AA book. The first book I actually acquired, again, I must have been drunk, somehow came into an AA book, and it's in my storage in LA because I didn't get sober until I had left LA for Atlantic City after 9/11. I didn't get sober until 2004. Okay. But anyway, and when I got sober and I started going to meetings, I did get the updated AA book. But I haven't gone to a meeting since my experience in Washington, D.C., because if you're going to shame me for who I like, no. You should not discourage a person from wanting to stop whatever their issue is. But that said, I've gotten to the point where I don't need a group to tell me I'm okay any more than I need somebody who offers to be my sponsor who says, oh, tricks me into admitting that I like weed and then telling me that my sobriety does not count. I had that experience. I think I may have mentioned this a couple of years ago. And even my mom thought that was a load of bullshit. And my mother, she does not love weed. Both her kids love weed. But she knows that weed's the safest thing you can do. She knows that alcohol, for so many of us, is absolute poison. The stupidest I've ever been was not on the drugs I did, and I did lots of powders. The stupidest stuff I ever did was on alcohol. I can never get back the memories I lost when I blacked out. And I've had things happen to me that nice people shouldn't talk about. So alcohol is very dangerous for us women. And especially if your stomach is empty because of amphetamines, you haven't eaten for 3 days, and then you start drinking Long Island iced teas or something, which was one of my favorite. I was never a beer girl. I like the sweet, fancy mixed drinks. They have 4 or 5 shots and stuff. And anyway, that's what I walked away from. And I made that decision that I could make 96% of my problems go away if I stopped drinking. And where I got 96% from, I have no idea. It was just a number that came in my head when I thought that God spoke to me in this nice, quiet whisper that was actually my own voice. But whatever. Bottom line is, it's like I turned the switch on, and I haven't dared fuck with it ever since because nothing scares me quite. Well, okay, another Biden presidency scares me. And most Democrats scare me, actually. And one or two other people scare me. But alcohol really scares me. And on November 19th, I'll make 20 years. And I plan on making it. I plan on getting my birthday cake from one of these AA. Yeah. Anyway, I want to go find the food. I want to put this on when I get back. Let me find the food. I put it in my mother's room. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure the coffee pot was off. I am going to end this so that I can take. Oh, I'll show you what I'm bringing my friend. He said he had this sweet tooth, and he's also homeless right now. So I got him thing of peanut butter, thing of raisins, uh, some bitter honeys, uh, one of these Rice Krispie treats. I wouldn't eat them because I don't do marshmallows, by the way. Got him a couple of apple sauces. Got him some frosted donuts. And oh, this is some cinnamon swirl bread. And these are some gummy fruit snacks. So hopefully some of this will satisfy his sweet munchies that are cannabis induced because you know he's been smoking all day, and I've got my trusty bowl here, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do some marijuana um, inhalation because it's legal here in the state of New Jersey, and I'm gonna exercise my constitutional rights, and I'm gonna be thinking about our veterans because after all, this is Memorial Day. Memorial Day is not just a day for picnics and eating hamburgers and hot dogs and all this stuff. We should spend some time to think about our troops and the people that put themselves in harm's way so that we don't have to fighting the bad guys overseas so we don't have to deal with them here. And I hope we get a president who really loves our military and who wants us to focus on strength, not in checking different boxes and lowering standards so that women don't have to do the push ups or carry the weights or do whatever. No, give people the jobs because they're qualified. I want to know that I got the best possible doctors. I want to know I have a fireman that can carry me, even though I think I'm probably easy to carry, but still, you know what I'm saying. Let people be qualified and get their work, and we need to do so many things that the current person is not doing. I will talk to you guys in maybe a couple hours. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be out there, but I know that he's here, and but he's got. You know what? I want to give him some more food. Oh, and I want to shout out to Deborah for the Friskies, and I want to take the shout out to Tiger for that dry food because kitties need food. What? Oh, I have some more food to your bowl. Nom nom. We're waiting. You get to see the nom nom. Nom nom nom. Oh, look, I got nom nom spaghetti. I got nom nom. Oh, spaghetti. Ah, Garfield just opened his mouth. He's got a couple of black, not black, like brown, like cow spots on the roof of his mouth. He's got really cute coloring. He's such a good boy. He's such a good kitty. He's calm and he's cuddly, and he's got me covered with hair. Oh, you got me covered with hair. Hair all over, hair everywhere. You got me covered with hair. And hopefully I'll come back with some more weed. And I appreciate the people who were concerned about the latest video I posted where I was stoned in Wildwood. And when I'm stoned, I will admit it. I got nothing to hide. And if I'm seeming like I'm a little medicated, you're right. I mean, between the edibles and the weed, I brought a little bit of weed in that bomb ass joint that was passed to me right when the cops were there. And, it's all good. Nobody lost an eye, okay? Smoking that fat ball. All right. Now, I'm about to smoke a bunch more weed. Oh, yeah, I'm going to make sure. Okay, where's. All right, good. I got the house key. And this is also doubles as a great thing to put joints out in, by the way. To crush them out off the black thing. I will be back in a couple hours. Garfield's gonna be good here. My mom doesn't even know he's here, but you know what? She's pretty cool with him here. Because he lets us know when he wants to go to the bathroom after a while. I usually have him here for at least 12 hours. Sometimes he wants to be let out about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and stuff, but he's never made an accident on my floor or anything. As long as he stays off my bed, that's the one thing. I don't allow kitties on my bed, even though my bed is probably not as sterile as I would like it to be. Okay, I will talk to you guys in a few. Please be safe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you in a couple hours. Bye.